The Israelites stood at the edge of the Jordan River, their hearts pounding with a mix of excitement and fear. It was a pivotal moment, a turning point in their long and arduous journey. For 40 years they had wandered in the wilderness, enduring hardships, trials, and the relentless sun. Now the promised land lay before them, ripe with possibility, a land flowing with milk and honey, as described by their ancestors. But there was a problem, a significant obstacle that stood in their way. The Jordan River, usually a gentle flow, was overflowing its banks, swollen with the spring rains. It seemed like an impassable barrier, a daunting challenge that tested their resolve. Yet God had promised them this land, a promise that had sustained them through the darkest times. Their faith was about to be tested in a remarkable way, a test that would define their future. This was no ordinary river crossing. It was a moment of destiny, a leap of faith into the unknown. This was a test of faith, a declaration of trust in God's promises, a moment to prove their belief. The Israelites had a choice, to doubt and grumble, or to believe and move forward, to trust in the divine plan. Would they trust in God's power, even when facing the seemingly impossible? Would they take that first step into the turbulent waters, believing that a miracle awaited them on the other side? The answer lay in their hearts, in their collective faith, and in their unwavering hope for a better future. God spoke to Joshua, his chosen leader. He instructed Joshua to select 12 men, one from each tribe of Israel. These men were to pick up 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan River, where the priests would stand. These stones weren't just ordinary rocks, they were to be a lasting reminder of God's faithfulness.
These stones will serve as a tangible symbol of God's miraculous provision. They will be a testament to future generations that God is a promise keeper. He parts waters. He makes a way where there seems to be no way.
The Israelites, led by the Ark of the Covenant, followed the priests into the dry riverbed. The Ark, a symbol of God's presence, guided them with unwavering certainty. Can you imagine the scene? The ground beneath their feet, recently submerged, was now dry. The river that once flowed with such force had been halted, revealing a path of safety. They walked across the Jordan River as if on dry land. Each step they took was a testament to their faith and the miraculous power that had intervened on their behalf. Once safely on the other side, at their campsite at Gilgal, those 12 stones were set up. Each stone represented one of the 12 tribes of Israel, a collective memory etched in stone. They formed an altar, a place of worship, a visible reminder of God's miraculous deliverance. This altar was not just a pile of stones, it was a sacred symbol of their journey and the divine intervention they had witnessed. This monument wasn't just about remembering the past. It was a tangible connection to their history, a story told through the ages. It was about looking toward the future with hope and confidence. The stones stood as a beacon, guiding them forward with the assurance that the same power that parted the waters would lead them through future trials. The stones served as a powerful declaration. They were a testament to the faithfulness of God and a reminder that His promises were steadfast. God had brought them this far. Their hearts were filled with gratitude and their spirits were lifted as they celebrated this monumental achievement. He would surely see them through the challenges that lay ahead. With renewed faith and determination, they were ready to face whatever came next, knowing that they were not alone. But the story doesn't end there. The journey of faith and the miraculous events that unfolded at the Jordan River have layers of meaning and significance that continue to inspire and teach us today. Joshua also set up 12 stones in the middle of the Jordan River itself, a deliberate act that carried deep symbolic weight. These stones were placed right where the priests had stood, holding the Ark of the Covenant as the waters of the Jordan were miraculously held back. These stones, submerged beneath the flowing water, were not just ordinary rocks. They were chosen and placed with intention to serve as a lasting memorial. This underwater memorial was a testament to the extraordinary event that had taken place, a physical marker of a divine intervention. They marked the exact spot where God had halted the Jordan's flow, allowing the Israelites to cross on dry ground. This was a powerful symbol for all who would see it, a reminder of God's presence and power in their lives. It was a silent testimony to the fact that God is in control, a message that resonated deeply with the people. Even in the midst of the rushing waters, the stones stood firm, symbolizing the steadfastness of God's promises. This act demonstrated that God's power is not limited to what is visible. It extends beyond what we can see and touch. It's often in the unseen, in the depths of our struggles and challenges where God's strength is most evident. The submerged stones were a powerful reminder of this truth. The submerged stones were a reminder that even when we can't see it, God is working. They stood as a silent witness to the enduring faithfulness of God, encouraging us to trust in his unseen hand. Section 5. The priest's steadfast faith. Think about the priests who carried the Ark of the Covenant. They were the first to step into the overflowing Jordan. Talk about a test of faith.
They didn't wait to see if the water would recede. They trusted God's word and stepped out in faith. And as they did, the impossible happened. The water stopped flowing, making a way for the entire nation to cross over.
Their unwavering faith is an inspiration for us all. They remind us that God honors those who dare to trust him, even when fear and uncertainty loom large. Section 6. Warriors ready, the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh. As if to emphasize the magnitude of the event, the Bible tells us that the armed warriors from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh were ready.
These tribes had already received their inheritance east of the Jordan, yet they stood ready to fight for their brothers and sisters to help them secure their inheritance.
Their presence was a testament to the unity and solidarity of the Israelite nation. They were a powerful reminder that we are stronger together, that we are called to support and encourage one another in our faith journeys. Section 7. Joshua, a leader forged in obedience. Throughout this incredible event, Joshua stands out as a shining example of leadership. He listened to God's instructions and obeyed them precisely.
He led with courage and conviction, inspiring the Israelites to trust God even when they couldn't see the way forward.
Joshua's leadership was not about power or position, but about humble obedience to God. His example reminds us that true leadership is rooted in following God's leading and trusting in his plan. Section 8. The waters recede, a testament to God's power. As soon as the priest's feet touched the water's edge, the Jordan River stopped flowing. The water piled up far upstream, creating a dry path for the Israelites. Can you imagine witnessing such a sight, the sheer power of God on display, holding back the forces of nature? This miracle wasn't just about parting a river, it was about demonstrating that nothing is impossible with God. It was a powerful reminder that when we put our trust in him, he can do amazing things in our lives. Section 9. Remembering God's faithfulness. Joshua gathered the Israelites together. He wanted them to understand the significance of what they had just witnessed. He explained that the 12 stones were more than just a monument.
They were a symbol of God's faithfulness.
He wanted future generations to ask about the stones. He knew that these stones would spark conversations about God's goodness and power. They would serve as a powerful reminder that God can be trusted, even when we face giants in our lives. Section 10. Stones of Remembrance, echoes in our lives. This story from Joshua 4 isn't just an ancient tale, it's an enduring message of hope and encouragement for us today. It reminds us that we serve a God who parts waters, a God who makes a way where there seems to be no way. We all face Jordans in our lives, obstacles that seem insurmountable. Yet this story reminds us that with God, all things are possible. It encourages us to step out in faith, to trust his promises, and to watch in amazement as he moves on our behalf. Section 11. Living testimonies, sharing our stories of faith. Just like the 12 stones, our lives can be monuments to God's faithfulness. When we share our stories of how God has brought us through challenges, we encourage others and build their faith. We become living testimonies of his goodness and power. Let's be people who not only remember God's faithfulness, but who also share it with others. Let's be living stones, reflecting his light and pointing others to the one who makes all things possible.